I've always loved tea. I drink tea every single day, mostly because I generally do not like water. Tea has become one of my ways to stay hydrated, and over time, making tea has become more than just drinking something warm. It's become a routine. Something that helps me to slow down and calms me right before bed. Usually I have tea while I'm reading, drawing, doing arts and crafts, whenever I feel something coming to accompany me while I'm doing things. There's something really comforting about making a cup of tea, just sitting with it for a while. Recently, I've been thinking a lot more about how to utilize things around me and find little ways to feel more connected to nature. I buy and go through quite a lot of tea. I started to think, why not try to make my own tea blends, using things from the garden and things growing around me. Herbs, spices, plants, flowers, and roots are all things we can find outside, in our backyards, in our forests, and growing naturally all around us. So today, I wanted to make some homemade teas, using things I've grown myself or gathered carefully in nature. I think it's nice to reconnect with what we already have around us. It's kind of exciting to realize that your backyard can make a really good cup of tea. The first thing I grabbed was mint from our vegetable garden. We've been growing heaps of different herbs and vegetables lately, especially now that it's getting colder and we're moving into winter. Mint is probably one of the easiest things to grow. Once it starts growing, it just takes over everything. But mint tea is one of my favorites because it's calming and refreshing at the same time. Mint is also really good for digestion, and it can help soothe your stomach after eating something greasy or when your stomach feels a little off. Then I grabbed lemons from our lemon tree. Lemon tea is one of the nicest things during winter, especially when it's cold outside. Lemons are really high in vitamin C and they're often associated with supporting the immune system, especially during colder months. I like drying lemon slices because they keep for ages afterwards. I made a lemon herb remedy drink a while ago that has become my absolute go-to during winter. I've been making it for years whenever it's cold outside or I start to get a little tickle in my throat. I'll link it below if you want to check that out. I also used marigolds from our vegetable garden. We planted them originally last spring because marigolds are amazing company plants for vegetable gardens. They help keep certain bugs away naturally. But the cool thing is flowers can be turned into tea. Marigold tea has traditionally been used for calming inflammation and soothing the body. It is also packed with antioxidants. One thing I really love about marigolds is the seeds. Every dry flower head is absolutely full of seeds. I swear, from one plant alone, I probably have enough seeds for the next generation. And that's another thing I really like about growing your own things. You start realizing how abundant nature really is. One flower turns into hundreds more. One plant keeps going, you save seeds, and you can regrow everything. I also went out to the forest to gather some pine needles. I believe these are from the three-needle pine tree, and pine tree tea has actually been used traditionally in different cultures for a really long time. Pine needles contain vitamin C and have this really fresh, earthy smell. But it's really important to mention that not every pine tree is safe for human consumption. There are quite a few pines and pine-like trees that can actually make you sick, so if you are collecting anything out in the wild, make absolutely sure that you're properly identifying what you're gathering before using it for tea, or anything edible. If you're unsure, it's always better to leave it alone and do more research first. Please be careful when foraging. Not every plant or flower is safe for human consumption. So if you're gathering anything from outside of your backyard, make absolutely sure you know what it is before consuming it. And if you're unsure, leave it alone. Seriously, it's always better to double check than risk getting sick. The same thing goes with flowers bought from stores. A lot of decorative flowers are sprayed with pesticides or chemicals that are not meant for ingestion. So I only use things I know are safe or untreated. And if you are harvesting from nature, do it respectfully. Do not strip the entire plant. Do not take everything. Leave enough for the plant to continue to grow, and for wildlife too. Foraging should work with nature, not against it. I usually rinse everything first to get off any dirt or bugs. I'll wash everything until the water runs clear, which is usually a good indication that it's clean. Then I pat it dry and either put it into the dehydrator or leave it somewhere dry with good airflow. You do not need a dehydrator for this. If you do not have one, you can dry herbs and flowers naturally in baskets, and just make sure it has a wide weave. I know a lot of people dry things outside in the sun during summer, and that works really well when the weather is warm and dry. But because we are at the end of autumn going into winter now, there's a lot more moisture in the air, so it's better to dry somewhere sheltered instead. I make sure everything is spreaded out properly to keep in a dry and dark place with decent airflow, so nothing can go moldy while it dries. Drying in baskets can take longer, sometimes a couple of weeks depending on the plant and the weather, but it still works perfectly fine. Dehydrators just speed up the process a bit. They're convenient, but they're definitely not necessary. I actually got mine from the warehouse, so it's nothing super fancy or expensive. When I'm dehydrating more delicate herbs or flowers, like mint or marigold, I usually keep my dehydrator on a really low temperature, around 40 degrees, or the lowest setting on the dehydrator. Lower and slower is usually better for delicate plants because you do not want to accidentally burn them or completely lose the smell and oils from the herbs. For me, dehydrating can take anywhere from 8 to 24 hours to dry fully in a dehydrator, depending on the plant, moisture in the air, and even the atmosphere in your house at the time. That's why I recommend starting slower if you're new to dehydrating. A good place to start is around 4 hours on a low temperature setting, then checking where everything is at before continuing. That way you can learn how your dehydrator works without accidentally over drying or burning anything. Once everything is fully dried, I usually store everything in airtight glass jars instead of plastic containers. I just find glass is a lot more reliable for storing homemade blends longer, and it keeps everything fresher for longer. I usually keep all mine in the pantry somewhere cool, dark, and dry. If everything has been dried properly and stored well, homemade teas can usually last anywhere from 6 months to a year before they start to lose a lot of their flavor and smell. Hopefully this video gave you some ideas and maybe inspire you to look around your own backyard or garden a little differently. Because there are so many things around us that we can actually use to nourish ourselves. You don't have to buy super fancy expensive teas all the time. You can make your own blends at home using herbs, flowers, fruits, and plants you already have around you. And I think that's what makes it feel so special. You get to decide exactly what goes into it. You can make blends that feel comforting to you and create teas that are completely your own. There's something really nice about sitting down with a cup of tea that you grew, dried, and made yourself. Hopefully this video gave you some inspiration to try drying herbs or making your own tea blends sometime, even if it's something really simple. Thank you for spending some time with me at Tulip Grove. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.